Hello and welcome to another Minecraft video by the Lazy Judge. Right, now, just to show you guys very quickly, we have done our storage system that has been completed, and we have moved our cobblestone generator, which is now feeding in with pipes into that chest over there, and then feeding in with pipes right back to the controller over here. Now, at some point in time, I will design or build a building around this, but for the moment, it is what we need, and it is how we need it to be. Alright, today I thought maybe we should close this gate very quickly and close this door very quickly. I'm going to take a very quick nap because it seems like I am tired, seeing as though it's night time. Alright, so today I think what we're going to do, and this is going to be something that we're going to span over a couple of videos because this is kind of a big mod that we're going to be handling right now. See how smelting is going on, and it's exactly because of this fact, because everything is going so freaking slowly, that I have decided that maybe we should do a couple of videos on the biggest mod that we've got in this pack, which is Tinker's Construct 2. Now, Tinker's Construct is a huge mod, and I have found that playing Minecraft unmodded, vanilla, and playing it modded, I've found that Tinker's Construct is the one mod that I miss the most when I actually get into playing Minecraft quite seriously, like what I'm doing at the moment. But unfortunately, it being so big, it's going to take a couple of videos to actually go through Tinker's Construct. Tinker's Construct is, according to me, that's just my personal opinion, broken up into 4 main groups. The main features of this would be your work center, which is a bunch of tool benches like this stacked together, then secondly your smeltery, then thirdly your furnace, and then finally your tank. Alright, so your Tinker tank. Now all these are built in different fashions, and they do different functions, but today I think what we're going to do is we're going to handle very quickly, we're going to handle the heart, according to my opinion, the heart of the whole system, which is the work center, and then where I normally go directly into the foundry, I think what we might do is go into the furnace first, the seared furnace, because I'm finding that this whole system over here is a little bit on the slow side, and the seared furnace goes a little bit quicker on everything. Right, so first of all, to build the whole work center, you're going to need a crafting table, which is the one that we're in at the moment. And what I like about this crafting table, if you put something on there, go out, it doesn't go back into your inventory. It's there. Alright, so let's just make a bunch of blocks of wood. Alright, so first thing that you're going to need, and I'm going to build this all with you guys, is you're going to need a workbench, a Tinker's Construct workbench, and you make a normal crafting table. You're going to do this, and you're going to make a Tinker's crafting table. This one over here. Alright, now the next one what you're going to need is going to be the stencil table, which is this one over here. But you guys can see over here, you're going to need something called a blank pattern. To make a blank pattern is very easy. You're going to make it just like such. But what I normally do is I just make a bunch of blank patterns because we are going to be using a bunch of these blank patterns. Right, so there we go. We've got 56 of them. Right there. Right, so now we have got the stencil table. And the stencil table is just basically to make templates. No, we don't have the stencil table. We actually have to make the stencil table. So let's make a stencil table very right. So now we've got a stencil table. Alright, and when I've made all these things, I'll show you guys how I set them up. Right, the next thing you're going to need is, well, we've got the stencil table now already. Then we are going to need a pattern chest, because seriously, you're going to have somewhere where you're going to be able to store all these patterns, these patterns you're going to be making, and that is just a chest and another blank pattern. So we're going to put that over there. Alright, then after this, you are going to need a part builder, because somewhere you're going to have to build these parts. And you make one, just a block of wood, any block of wood, and a pattern. Again, right, so there we've got that one. Alright, and then we are going to need, what have we got over here? This is the part builder in the various different forms. Wood, I just like to do it all in oak. Then we're going to need a part chest, which is planks, sticks, chest, and a blank pattern. Got all that in our inventory. Do that over there. Then you're going to need tool station, which is this one over here. Right, now the tool station, you get two different tool stations. You get this one and you get a tool forge. Now they basically do the same thing, but this one will only, I think, go as far as stone, whereas this one will go with all the different materials that you can use in the from your smeltery. You can make metal tools and so forth. Alright, so but first to do this, you need to have one of these suckers over here and seared stone. But we'll get to the seared stone in a second. First we need to make one of these suckers. Right, so let's make one of them. Making it, well, this one apparently I'm using cactus, but I think you can use just normal wood as well, I think. No, you can't. Right. Okay, so now we've got, do we now have two part builders? That is just freaking awesome. I don't want two part builders, you idiot. What is that? That is a tool station. Oh, it seems like we need to do that with another crafting table. Okay, so we're going to do that. Let's just make another crafting table very quickly. Like so. Right, so, but now we need to upgrade to this thing over here. See that we need blocks of iron, which we've got plenty of iron. And we'll do that in a sec, but we also need seared bricks. The problem with this, okay, no, not that, seared, let's just get back to seared bricks. Seared stone. The problem with that is, you need to have some of these buggers so that you can actually make the seared stone. Right? And the seared stone is just basically made like this. Go, we've got seared bricks. Just make a couple of those. Now, to get these things over here, it's another process. You've got to harvest some gravel, you've got to harvest some clay and make clay blocks out of it, you've got to harvest some sand. And then you are going to go to your crafting table. Stick the clay in the middle. And then you stick the gravel in the corners, like so. Right, and you take this, you take this, you take this, and you make a bunch of grout. Right, once the grout is made up, you're going to take the grout, and you're going to stick the grout in your furnace. And that's going to smelt up and become seared brick. We're just going to leave that to get going there. And we'll take all this crap out here. Now, as you guys can see, this is kind of a involved mod, this. This is why I'm going to do a couple of different videos on it, because it does tend to get really involved. So let's make a couple of, okay, well, let's make a couple of these things. I'm thinking this might be enough. I actually think that will be. Let's have a looky see. Put that back in there. Alright, so here we go. So now we need to make the tool forge, which I'm just going to make out of basic metal. And as you can see, we can now make a tool forge. Right. Okay, so now let's just check that we've got everything. The stencil table, we've got a part builder, we've got a tool forge. And then also what I need in addition to that is I need two chests. Right, so hopefully it's not dark outside. No, it's not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have got this little area prepared over here, and I think I'm going to be doing everything inside this little area over here. Let's take these out. Alright, so first thing that we do is we are going to put down our crafting station. And we're going to do that like so. And then what I do from there is I take these two chests and I stick them down like so. And why I do that is because this thing is now connected to those, which is kind of nice. So anything that's in there, it can now use. I'm just going to quickly chop a hole in the back over here like so. Just pick up those two very quickly. The next thing we're going to need is we're going to need our stencil table, which I just stick right next to that one over there. And now we need to have a part builder. Right, and first I'm going to put the parts builder down here. Now what I do is I take my pattern chest and I stick it at the back over there. For the reason for that is this is now connected to the pattern chest. So any pattern that you want to use, it's going to pull directly out of there. Let's see if we can put in a couple of those. Right. So let's just see if I did that correctly. Just make a pattern very quickly. See if I did that correctly. Like so. Just make it out of. To make. So that. So we're going to make a pattern. Take the pattern, stick it in there. Let's see if we can do. Yes. Now because this pattern chest is now connected to this little table over there, if I want to make, say, that out of wood, like so, I can now make it out of wood. Right? As easy as that. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to take every part that we build is going to eventually end up inside of that chest over there, which is the tool, the parts chest, and I'm going to connect that forge to that. So if we've got any, let's just build a very quick part out of this, like so. Two woods, we're going to take that, and as you can see, it's now a whole system at the top over here. Alright, so we can take this and stick it in there. So if we now want to make a spade, it should be available. Why is that not available? Did I do that wrong? Just take the sucker down here very quick. Take that out. There goes up. Put that thing back in there. I am going to, do I have a parts chest? I'm going to take my parts chest, stick it in between the two over there and do it like that, and it should still all be available. And now, yeah, I should have the spade. Anyways, you guys get the gist of it. It looks like I'm going to have to go and take another nap because we've been working. Let's go down because I seriously don't want to run into any hostile mobs on the outside over there. Not while I'm busy. With my luck, I'll run into a creeper and the creeper will come blow up my whole system over there. Alright, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to build our furnace. Alright, so we are going to need some glass. Oh, the scrap over here. Now I will quickly show you guys why I have got that chest next to this thing over here. So everything that we're going to need to use is going to stick in there, dagger so, and I think we can take all these patterns and stick them there for when to do patterns next. Right. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to build a seared furnace, and this is where I used to get very, very much confused. So I've got the Tinker's Construct mod called up over here. So let's just go to all these seared thingamajiggers over here. So we want to do the furnace. And eventually we will actually get to that. There we go. This is all our seared brick construction. So what we want to do is we want to, first of all, we want to craft a seared furnace controller, which is crafted like that. And we're not going to be able to do that right now because we don't have a freaking furnace. Do I have any cobblestone? No, I don't. Forgot about that. Let's just run back into the top over here, and you know what? I think still crafting over there. That to take this out, and I'm going to chop them because we're not going to need you guys for very much longer. Right, so let's go back down again. Right, here we go. Okay, so we need to make a furnace controller, which is going to be this one over here. Lag us up. Right, so there we go. We've got the seared furnace controller. I'm going to take all these and just stick them in there. They are in my way ever so slightly, right? This. So that we just keep there. Right, so we've got the furnace controller. Then we need a seared tank. And you need to look through here. That's a Tinker tank controller, which we're not going to be doing now. That is a smeltery controller, okay, so we need to have a seared tank, which is made up with this recipe over here. Okay, so, right. Okay, now, these two need to be in a specific place for your seared furnace to work. So what we need now as well is a bunch of seared bricks because the construction of this thing is made up of these bricks. So there we've got 19 bricks. And this is also why you need so many of this freaking bricks. Alright, so there we got a couple more. I think we need to make a couple more over here. This is going to be, so I don't want to use everything over there because we need to keep, because these things take quite a little bit of time to, oh that's not going to work. So, alright, so now we've got a bunch of bricks. Take this and put it back in there. We should have enough to make our next contraptions. Right, so we got this thing going over here, and just for ease of use, I'm going to keep everything more or less together. Same location. Now, the seared furnace, as far as I know, can be anywhere from a 3 by 3 to 11 by 11 in size, but seriously, you don't need anything really that big. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a 4 by 4 hole over here, like so. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. I'm just going to chop out a big hole. I like to sink in my furnaces this way. It makes it nice and neat and tidy. And then you are going to put these bricks in here. This is going to be the base of your furnace. Really? Don't want to do that? Alright, like so. Alright, and we're going to cover it up like so. I'm just going to leave the front end like so for now. Okay, now to put this in this. Okay, so the controller I normally like to stick in. Yeah, no, not there. That's going to be non-functional completely. Alright, and this, and like so, and like so. And now we're going to make this thing a little bit bigger, because I need a bit of space, because I've got a lot of items that I want to smelt up. Alright, and right, so that answered one question that I had previously. We don't need this one over here. Just going to make this thing a little bit bigger. And the bigger you make it, the bigger the size of the inventory is going to be. Alright, so let's just take this. I want to do a very quick test over here and see if something works. I'm hoping it does. Okay, so we're going to, really, like so, like so. We're going to cover this hole up over here. And then we're going to bring this down and this down. And that does not do it. That doesn't do it. Okay, so that answers another one of my questions. So it does look like you have to enclose this entire system. So we're going to do that. Just get out of the furnace because I don't want to cook myself. Okay, like so. I think you'll know this thing is working, well, obviously when it goes on. There we go. And we've got one big ass gigantic furnace. Now the reason I'm building this big, give it back, is because I like the size of this thing at the side over here. It cooks up whole batches of items at a time. Now the problem being is this thing is powered by lava, so you're going to have some lava available to stick in here, because that's the power source. So what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to go and grab a couple of buckets and go and grab a couple of buckets of lava. Let me just see if I break out this block over here. No, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, so this needs to be an enclosed unit. That does answer that question for me. Right, guys, so I'm just going to go and do a little bit of the collection of the lava, and then I'm going to bring you guys right back, and we're going to complete this episode. I will see you in a second. Right, and as you guys can see, I've done a bit of the collection of the lavas. Alright, so what we're going to do now is you're going to take your lava bucket in your hand. You're going to go to your tank, focus on your tank, and you're going to right click on the tank. And that's going to stick some lava in. I think this thing takes 3 buckets. I think that, it takes 4 buckets. And it's full. Alright. Take these, and I'm just going to stick them in there. Like so. So we know that we've got a bit of a fuel source over there. Alright, so now you're going to look at the furnace controller, right click on it. And now, as you guys can see, I've got a couple of stacks of metal in my inventory. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shift and left click on these, and they are just going to go directly in there. As you can see, they are all being smelted at the same time. Now this does take a little bit of time, and it does take a bit of lava to smelt these things up, right? So, but it takes a lot less than what it takes to actually smelt up the items inside a normal furnace. Now I do know that there is a way to automate this, to put a chest in front of it and to feed everything in. I think the best way of doing that is probably going to be to put a chest in front over here and have it hop. Or you know what we can do? We can use the extra utilities pumping system to have a chest standing over here and put a transport node at the bottom of the chest and have it pumped directly in there, and then everything just gets smelted up. And we're just going to leave these things to cook up over there, and anything that you can smelt in the furnace you can do there. You can do food. It does it in batches of 16. Alright, so I'm just going to alleviate this thing of its pressure like so. And does it have anything in there? Yes, it does. We're just going to take all this crap over there. We're just going to leave this thing to carry on doing what it's doing there. And I'm going to run through to our furnace and see how much stock we can actually put inside the furnace. This does speed up the process tremendously. So we are just going to stick, let's just see how big this thing is. This thing is truly immense. We're just going to stick everything in there. And I think we've now kind of up. But as you can see, it's cooking up a storm. It is really pumping out the smelting. Right, we're just going to leave this thing to do its cooking over there. And I think what we're going to do in the meantime, got some chests over here. We're just going to do that. And we are going to do this like so. Full time. That's everything that needs to be cooked up. And we can design an automated system at a later stage for that. Alright, so what I'm going to do when I'm off camera is I'm going to take this area over here, up to here, and we are going to take out these steps and enlarge the foundry area and maybe give it a nice roof or something like that. Alright, let's just see how's the smelting going here. It does seem like it does take a little bit of time, which obviously it does. And the larger the stacks, obviously, the longer it's going to take. But you know what? It is so much quicker than using the normal furnace. Alright, let's just wait to see how this thing goes about. Got more than enough fuel in here, I'm thinking. And this is just all going to cook up at more or less the same time. And we're going to have lots and lots of resources. Now, also, once you've got this thing going, if you want to make more grout, this obviously is the way to go. If you want to take your cobblestone, turn it into stone, well, this is the way to go. And you can take this thing as high as you want it. I've just taken it this high. The bigger you make it, the bigger the inventory over here is going to be. Right, so that is very close to being done. Alright, so we've got a little bit of this going, a little bit of that going. Let's just leave this all to smelt up. Alright, so in the next episode, what I will do is I will handle the smeltery, because that is a whole different kettle of fish. You can make a whole different batch. Oh, look at that! That is just beautiful. And look at that! Look at all these freaking resources. Everything is smelted up. Just that easy. Alright, now I want to take the rest of my goodies. Don't be that way. I do this. Oh, that is absolutely freaking brilliant. And just that easily, we've got a bunch of resources smelted up. I am going to go and bank these things. I'm not going to stick it in a chest or anything. I do this, and that. And we've got one more. Do this. The diamonds. We're going to stick the diamonds in there. We're going to take this, stick it in there. We're going to take that, stick it in there. And then we've got a bunch of resources smelted up. That is a lot quicker than the way I normally do it. Just going to take all this crap, take it all and just stick it in there. You just smelt to your heart's content, and then every now and again all you do is you go and put some lava in there. Now that is, in the next episode, what we will do is we'll handle the smeltery as well as the tank. The tank is going to make your life a lot easier when it comes to this fuel source. All you got to do is fill it up with lava, which is going to take a bit of time, and then take on your transfer fluid nodes, connect that to this, and connect it to your smeltery, and you'll have lava inside your reservoir at all times. Alright, so here we go. That's as easy as that goes. So we've got our big furnace set up now, and yeah, I think that might be all we've got time for in this episode. If I've missed anything, guys, listen, I'm very, very new to the Tinker's Construct. I'm completely addicted to the Tinker's Construct too, but I'm very new to it. If I did miss something, please let me know in the comment section below, because really, where else would you do that? If there's anything else you want me to see me do or attempt to do, then please let me know in the comment section. If you found yourself liking this video, go ahead and smack the crap out of that thumbs up button, out of that like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, because really, why wouldn't you? And I'm looking forward to making the next video on Tinker's Construct 2. And I will see you guys in the next video. This is the Lazy Judge signing off. Cheers.